doesn't have very many teeth. So he helps feed the chickens. But I just wanted to go live here. We went live a couple weeks ago. And we just brought everybody in to eat. So I thought having trouble connecting, so I have to stay here. We are a 501c3 Equine Rescue Sanctuary and Equine Assisted Services nonprofit. So we use all these amazing, beautiful horses. We bring them in, whatever their situation is. Most of the horses that are still here are here because of a medical or behavioral problem. There are a few exceptions to that, some of the horses that we just brought in, and most of them are teenagers and older, up into the 30, I think our oldest one is 37. So this is Kramer. And you'll notice we have all different shapes, colors, sizes. This is Ace. Ages. This is Teddy, our newest member. This is Sugar. She's just finishing up her meal. Oh, she's trying to steal his hay. Uh-oh. Goodness. And this is Willie. Some ask about Willie. He's doing much better. He's eating. He had a severe case of choke about a month ago. He had actually 3 bouts of it, so he lost an extreme amount of weight. It was too. Sorry, friends, it keeps cutting out. Apparently, my barn is too long for my Wi-Fi signal. Here's Boone, and he had a bit of a weepy eye, so I did tape his eye today. His original rescue story is on our channel from the Heart of Phoenix Rescue. Red Lady's back there. If I go back there, my the stream's gonna cut out. But she is a Missouri Foxtrotter, and she is 36. Back in the other side, we've got Wellington up over here eating, and Sherman is way back there. I'll try to go in there. Here is Nellie. She's just kind of chilling out. So Nellie was a bit of a problem child at the other barn. So we brought her here and we put her in with all of the other horses. She was a bottle baby, so she really did not get to learn horse behavior. Hi, Nels. Oh, sweetie. So you can see she's got some scrapes and bites. I put, that's just a holistic treatment on her, on all of her little scrapes. She looks like a Dalmatian. This is Nellie, and she was a twin. The mom passed away, and then, so that's how she became a bottle baby. She's like, what are you doing with the camera? It's okay, Nellie. She also squeals at the boys behind her when they get too close. Nellie is about 12 years old. Boone is mid-20s. I guess I need to go back through what we addressed. Red Lady, like 36. Yada is 8 back there in the corner. Willie is mid-20s. Sugar is early 20s. Teddy's mid-20s. Ace is mid-teens. Cherokee is mid-20s. That's this horse here. He's a big guy. He is 16'3". Will it kick people? Which one, Nellie? No, Nellie's really good with people. She loves people. So that's the problem. If she's around me and another horse comes up, she's very rude to the other horses. And at the other barn she was at, it just caused too many problems with the way that they manage their herd versus how we manage our herd. We have done it a few different ways, but we currently have everybody all out in all the pastures opened up. So all of the ones except there's one that we only let them go in at night. But we have a couple grass areas with pasture, and then we have a huge dry lot that has a big hoop barn with some feeders in it, and then we've got some feeders under the trees. So we feed them hay and nibble nets when they're all out on the dry lot. So, yes, these are all horses. Will says, hello, everybody. So he's just you want to show him the mineral? He's giving them mineral. So we give Free Choice Big Sky mineral. We do not use the little cubes or blocks because those are full of molasses and sugar.
I eat those too.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Will tries everything that the horses try to make sure that it's good for them, apparently. But there's no salt in this mineral. So we do have another little container that has salt in it. But all of the horses have, you'll see their feed. What did you say, Ace? He's talking. All of the horses have these little red containers, which that's what their minerals in. They do have a bucket for water, but normally they're not in the stalls very much. And in the wintertime, we've got electric buckets because we're in Ohio, so all of the things freeze. This is our stall barn that we are still completing. We've done this ourselves and then with some donations. So this is kind of a slow process because when you do things debt-free, it takes a while, especially when you're on a limited retirement income. So Cherokee, yes, he is 16-3 hands. He is a Tennessee walking horse or spotted saddle horse, kind of interchangeable with the words. Oh yeah, they go outside all the time. Yeah. So they're just in here to eat their pellets, their grain, and some of them get alfalfa cubes soaked because they don't have a lot of teeth or they need extra nutrition. So we feed Tribute equine products. So the feed of choice is usually Calm and Easy, and then sometimes we use Essential K if they need more vitamins, minerals, and then they also need aminos for their, muscle regeneration, that type of thing. Cherokee currently is, we have been treating him for EPM, which is a neurological disease that lives in the brain and in the spine. It causes a lot of different things in horses, but it's kind of, I guess, equivalent in the head that all of the protozoa kind of make it like it is a migraine headache. And then their feet, the way they walk is just a little uncoordinated because it affects their muscle and then the proprioception. So like when they put their foot down, they're not always sure where their foot is. So sometimes those horses like trip and stumble a lot. You want to say hi, Ace? Ace was, he's came back to us 3 times. So first the original rescue, he came to us, and then he was adopted out twice and then came back to us, no fault of his own. And so now he's here and he's actually used in our lesson program. For a horse to be autistic, that's a great question. Nobody has ever asked me that question. I do know of horses that have been injured and that have had, trauma to the brain, that, if they've had something that has affected the blood flow, like in an accident or something like that. But a horse, normally, if there is something that's going on with the foal that it wouldn't survive, normally the horse isn't born alive. But I don't know of any horse that is autistic. That's a great question, something to kind of look into. If you find that out, let me know. Really great question. But yeah, so they go outside all the time. We live in Northwest Ohio, so it does get hot, muggy, bugs. The worst thing lately has been the horse flies, and then the green-headed flies, the deer flies. So a lot of times they like to come inside, which is why the barn, we try to keep it a little bit more dark, because when it's dark, the horse flies don't go into that. Want to say hi, Daisy? Are you trying to get Mike's food? So Mike, I kind of talked about him a little bit when I first started this. He is, best guesstimation, 37. He gets a mash. I don't know if you can see his bowl there, because he only has front teeth only. So that's why he drops a lot of food on the ground. The chickens help him clean it up. He never really looks much more fleshy than what he is. He also has some issues with his digestion, so chronic diarrhea, things like that. But we don't feel that he's ready to give up on life yet, so it's not quite his time. So if he tells us that it's his time, then we will let him go. But until then, he runs around with the other horses. If he lays down and gets up, he gets up with no problem. So let me go on the other side. So to answer your question, since I ramble, sorry about that. Yes, they go outside all the time, but sometimes they love to come inside and just kind of chill out. So when they eat, they come in twice a day, in the morning to eat, and then at night to eat. So they're outside a lot. And when they're in the hoop barn, they can come and go, so they're not locked in there in the hoop barn. It is outside. So like I said, this is going to be the TAC viewing room. Right now it's a little bit of a hot mess. We've got to finish the walls and the ceiling. Insulation, Will says he's a hot mess. We've got our other doors here to go out on each end of the barn, so we need to get those up before winter comes. So we are in the process. Let's see if these guys will come up to us. These are our draft horses, and this is Wellington is the first one, and then Sherman is behind him. They don't do great in the stalls. They're so big. They kick the gates. They pound on the thing. So we have two feeders hanging in here, and they just kind of hang out here when all the horses are in their stalls. But we are in the process of tearing this side of the barn down with that loft and all the things, rehoming the chickens. So this will be our indoor arena for the winter, so we can do some stuff in here. Your eyes are all yucky. So this is Sherman. He is a cross between a Suffolk Punch and a Belgian. Hi. Can you say hi? Oh my goodness. I don't have any treats. He's looking for treats. Which horse of yours would you say is fighting for life or changing? You don't have to. So Boone is probably the worst one, but he's good now. Willie, it was kind of touch and go with Willie, the black that I showed you guys. He's just a little talking horse. Not the larger black one, Ace, and I can go back in there if Sherman won't leave me alone. He had a choke that we almost couldn't get it clear. His nose is kind of growing in. We've had him since January. Just kind of how he is. This big guy actually was headed to slaughter. He was headed to Canada on a direct shipment. And some of our friends found out and reached out to the owner, and hey, be nice to him and ask the owner if she could buy him or take him or what. I don't know if she ended up buying him or not. Sherman, it's okay. I have enough love for you both. It's okay. It's okay. Don't be so pushy. Oh, so pushy. So he's got quite the personality. I have some videos on our YouTube. I think it says Conversations with Sherman. So he's trying to push this horse away from me because he wants all of my attention. This one right here. He wants all of my attention and thinks I'm gonna give him a treat. Oh, fudge. Sorry about my internet connection. Dang it. I know it cuts out my, as I'm talking, doesn't it? Let's go back over here. Let me go over here. When it's time to let him out, maybe I can stand out in a different spot. But let me go outside and I'll kind of show you their pasture. So you'll see everything out here. Everything is construction, right? Because we're doing this big addition. We bought a fixer-upper property. Well, we thought we bought it, and then the person actually is a family member, brother-in-law. And he said, no, you guys are doing great things with these horses. You just live here, fix it up, do what you want. So this is the barn addition that we are in the process of doing. That was the original barn, and we're clearing it all out. But I don't know if you can see way back there to where those fence posts are, and then on the other side of the pond where those trees are. So that's all the area that they can go. And then there's an area over here as well. Our property is completely fenced by the road as well, so there are times when they're in our front yard, in our driveway. There's another area here that they can go. And then this is the hoop barn out back. So that's open on both sides. There's feeders in there and they can kind of come and go as they please. And then there's some feeders under that tree as well. Hopefully my internet is better. I know I've lost half the people probably because not great internet. I think what I'll do, I'll just do a video. I'll stop my live and I'll just do a video of us letting them all back out. I don't know if you can hear me or not. And I only have 2 bars where I live as well. So we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But if you have any more questions, drop them below and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. I appreciate you letting me know, and also for you asking me questions. I really am interested about the autistic horse. We do, since we do lessons with people and children of all different abilities and turn them out. In fact, sometimes we have to force them to go out, strongly suggest, here's the gate. So we'll have to actually take a lead rope and lead them out. So you can see Mikey, he is eating his mineral. Nope, a bite of mineral, a bite of cubes. So he'll stand here and make a mess, and then he'll try to clean some of it up. So this first horse here, Jessa, she was at another facility. Well, she went through auction. She was with somebody for quite a while. And there's a ride in Michigan that's called the Shorter Shore Ride. So it goes from one side of the state to the other. And the note at the auction on her pin said that she had been in the Shorter Shore Ride 3 times and that the owner was just getting older and could no longer care for her. So she was purchased, I think, from a horse trader, and then another lady bought her. And then they tried to use her at another riding facility, and they just did not care for her. Some of the instructors wouldn't ride her, but she is a Tennessee walking horse as well. So they do have a different style of riding. So I rode her a couple times at the other property, and thought she was a great horse and had a beautiful gait. So we brought her here, and then she really bonded with the minis. She really thinks that they are her babies. You can see she's over there taking a nap.
In case you haven't figured it out yet, I love Tennessee walking horses.
Yeah. We lived in Tennessee for a while, so it's just kind of interesting, you know. Okay, so that squeal would be Nellie. But it's kind of Nellie. It's kind of interesting how, you know, kind of what you put out there, or, you know, what comes back to you. But all of these, you know, a lot of walking horses have found their way to us. And we normally don't go out and look for horses. Normally we're asked to take a horse in. Or if it's like another rescue or law enforcement type case, owner surrender. Some of the owners are getting more and more aware of, you know, it's not great to send them to an auction because most of the time the kill buyers are going to end up with them. So you can see Mike's brand. It's really hard to read because he's so old, but that would tell, if I could read it, it would tell the year he was captured from the roundup, because they round up Mustangs in the United States. But it would tell the year he was captured, the area or state. There's a lot of different areas. And a couple other things about him. But I can't read it. So the dentist and the farrier and the veterinarian have all kind of said his age. So you can see he's trying to chew the best he can, but it's kind of hard when you only have front teeth. Sorry, random question. How do horses get pregnant exactly? Well, I'm sure you could YouTube that. There are things called live cover with a stallion, and they do artificially inseminate, so AI. We don't have any stallions here. As a rescue sanctuary, we don't breed. So there's a couple different ways. All right, I'll try to do a little walkthrough while I have some service here. If I cut out, just let me know, and we'll start the video so I can video and then just upload it when I have service. This is Daisy. Daisy, do you want to do a trick? Not so much. Okay. Want to say hi, Jessa? Jessa looks sleepy. Is that your mom? You think that's your mom? Horses also get metabolic disease, so insulin resistant, kind of like a diabetic. So this little mini here is diabetic. She has insulin resistance, and it causes problems in their feet. It makes their feet very sore. And if it's bad enough, they can actually get rotation of one of the bones in their foot called the coffin bone, and it would rotate down and come out through the bottom of the hoof. So it's kind of a serious thing. So we have to soak her hay. We feed her especially it's called low NSG, so low combined sugars. And she cannot go out on grass. And she cannot have the same hay all the other horses have. Yeah, Mikey, the horse that only has front teeth, kind of, yeah, Mikey, what happened to them? Oh, just because he's so old. So he's probably 37, 38 years old, and when it's just from age, just from him being old. But he was a wild Mustang, so he was rounded up out west with helicopters and such. And it's just really from his teeth issues from being old. That's why he doesn't have teeth. All right, I turned on the lights. I don't know if we can see better. You see Kramer has a blue eye and a dark eye. See how they're all kind of taking naps right now. So it's great for them to be out in a big herd, but sometimes they also like their space. By rounded up. Yeah, so out west and in some of the parts of Appalachia, there are wild horses, the wild Mustangs. In Canada, I believe they also have them, so they're Brumbies. But there is a big debate between the people that support the horses and the people that have leased government land for their cattle to graze on. So the wild horses keep losing more and more and more of their grazing privileges, grazing rights. They round them up with helicopters, push them into like these little arenas or pens, and then they ship them off. They auction them off. Some of them go to certain prisons have programs where they train the Mustangs and then try to rehome them. I'll try to show you Daisy, but she keeps coming close to me, so she won't stay far away. Daisy, you're so cute. I want them to see you. That's so cute. So I don't know if that answered the question on Mustangs. But yes, they are still wild horses. A lot of the western states. I have a friend that does some training. She has a couple Mustangs that she adopted. So you can adopt them, and then after a year, they basically give them to you, and you can do whatever you want. So here's the problem with Mike. He was adopted, but I don't know, somebody had him for a long time. But I'll just say in general, so not necessarily Mike, but in general, traders will buy them for, $200, keep them for a year, and then send them off to auction, and they'll get bought by meat buyers for slaughter, and then shipped to Canada or Mexico. Then they're either, they either go to a slaughter plant there, or they're shipped on barges to other countries. And a lot of times it's just horrific for the horses. Horses get trampled. Some, horses die on the journey if they're lame or hurt. It's not a great situation, especially for the Mustangs. Well, I guess all the horses. So we have, Sugar and Yada were headed to slaughter. Jessa was saved from auction. Willie was abused, came into the rescue. His nose was broken open. He was abused. So the horse that's going out now is Boone, hanging out back there. Kramer, this horse, this red and white medicine hat horse, he was going to have to go to auction if we didn't take him in because his owner sold the farm that they'd been at for years and years and years. All right, and there goes Wellington. I'm kind of standing farther away because of my signal, so hopefully I have signal here. Okay, the horse there on the end, I don't know if you can see Will in the red shirt, but that is Yada. Like I said, he was born, well, we're in Ohio now, but we lived in Tennessee at the time. His mom was headed to Mexico for slaughter. And we intercepted him. And then he's the only horse that I've ever actually gentled myself. Most of the horses have all been under saddle. Come here, Yada. Nope, he's going the other way. There goes Nellie. Yeah, twins are very, very rare. And Nellie was a twin. She had a brother. And then the mom got infection, is the story that I've been told. And the mom died, so that's why she was a bottle baby. Not just because she was a twin, but just because the mom unfortunately died. Here comes Sherman. And here comes Sugar, the black and white. She's gonna wait till Sherman leaves. So they have a hierarchy. Yada just went in with Sugar, which is his mom. So Sherman is pretty much at the top of the hierarchy, top of the food chain. He's not mean about it, but he can move the other horses around with his body language and energy. And Sugar knows that, which is why she's reluctant to walk behind him to go outside. So Will might have to help her by him. Usually all we do is we'll put our hand on, she doesn't want to take the chance yet, but we'll put our hand on Sherman, let him know we're back there and it's not another horse. Okay, she's gonna go back in the stall because here comes Nellie, and Nellie pushes her around as well. Yeah, the only horse that I've raised that was a baby would have been Yada because he was born here. Typically, since we're a sanctuary rescue, we don't breed and we don't have any stud horses. If a horse came here that was a stud, they would be gelded. We'd have to have a different area for them because they couldn't be out with the rest of the horses. And we have done that before. We have brought in a stud, but he was adopted out after he was gelded. Sherman's like, no, thank you, I want to come back in. Yeah, it was a really cool experience. I'll have to go way back, like 8 years back, and see if I can find some baby pictures of Yada. So Will's gonna just take a lead rope, just put it around his neck, and he's gonna be the buffer between Sherman and Yada, and then Yada will feel comfortable enough to walk out. And he'll do the same thing with Sugar. It was a super, super cool experience. I love baby horses. He was very, very mouthy, so he wanted to chew on everything. And see Nellie's ears? That's her body language, talking to Sugar. But we worked with him since he was little. So when it came time to actually sit on him, to gentle him, he didn't mind because he trusted us. We did a lot with him when he was little, just leading him on the ground. So there's so much you can do with horses other than just ride on their backs. Yeah, sanctuary. Okay, so this could get a little dicey. Cherokee's gonna come out of the stall here because Sherman just went in. And Daisy's gonna hide behind me because Cherokee can be a little bit of a turd. You just stay down there, Cheer Bear. I don't know if you have ever heard of the Tennessee walking, like the show horses. They call them Big Lick, where they put, just stay over there, buddy. Just, please, just stay over there. They call them Big Lick horses. They put big pads on their feet and chains around they'll put big pads on their feet, and then they'll put chains around here so it slides up and down when the horse moves, and then they put chemicals behind there, and it's called soaring them. So he came out of a show barn that did that. He was in one of those barns. When he was real young, they put him into heavy training, and mentally he just kind of fell apart. So he does a lot of stall weaving. So see the ears? Hey, 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 Cheer Bear. Go on. Don't be mean. All right, Will's gonna come grab him. The youngest, who's the youngest horse you have in your sanctuary? The youngest horse would be, good question. Yada, yep, he would be the youngest. I think he's 8. And then Nellie. You're making me think really hard here. Yada, then Nellie. Then probably Ace and Sugar. And then Misty and Daisy, the minis. And then like Jessa is 20 or 22, Kramer's 23, Red's mid-30s, Teddy's 22. So yeah, so all these other ones are early to mid-20s. Boone is mid-20s. And then Wellington and Sherman, I think they're 20s as well. So, and a lot of times people will think that's very old for a horse. But I also do massage and body work on horses. And if you keep them in good health nutritionally, and you know, they get out, they get their exercise, because it's very important for them to get exercise to keep their muscles strong, to support all their joints. So there goes Jessa. And she is also a walking horse. And here comes Sherman back into the barn. He's a barn dweller, for sure. He does not like bugs, which, thank goodness, most of them have kind of subsided. And there goes Nellie out there. So a lot of great questions. I really, really appreciate your interacting with us. Mike's still eating, aren't you, Mike? You got a messy nose. All right, there's Ace. Ace coming out this way? Oh, Ace wants to say hi. Hi, handsome. Yep, these two are friends. Yes, when we went and seized Mikey back, Ace was with him, and the adopters had stopped sending us pictures and responding to us. So we drove from Ohio to Tennessee, which is about 8.5 hours, to check up on them. Bye. And we were horrified in what we saw, so we brought them both back. But all right, thank you so much for watching. If anybody has any questions, just drop them real quick below and I'll answer them before I hop off here. Oh my goodness, no wonder you're tired. Well, maybe I should do a video in the morning. Thank you so much for watching. I don't even know how to stop my live.